Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Apologize for the delay. A few technical issues on this end. Not sure what it was with the Wi-Fi or fiber optic or whatever, but it is solved now and we are streaming now. So I've been jacking with that for way too long. Um, Tonight I wanted to do first. We'll do first things first. Thanks to all the new subscribers, the channel is growing. You know, really nicely, considering it is completely organic. I don't do any advertising. I don't boost any posts. None of that stuff. I occasionally post on social media that I'm going live, but you guys have done this all sort of by yourselves, and I really appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying what I'm doing here, and not necessarily with super basic cars, but also with the Viper and the Miata and the limo and all the other race cars and stuff. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. So like I said before, I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. So I don't get paid for any of this. This is all for my enjoyment of teaching folks how to do stuff and me learning at the same time. So thank you guys for joining, and I'll keep bringing you cool stuff. Also, suggestions are welcome. Definitely put them down in the comments, put them in the chat, shoot me a text, email, whatever, and we'll try and accommodate those as best we can. I am super jazzed about the Altima 600. They've started promoting it on the Freedom Plus channel, and the Danger Ranger. There's the Danger Ranger 5000 or 9000. That's also the same night. It's the race just before the big race with the Altimas, and it just seeing the highlights and clips from that, even just in the promo shot, is a lot of fun, and I'm super excited about it. So I've got my Altima. It's slowly but surely getting ready. You guys have seen a few of the last streams where we're stripping the interior, we're checking out the engine, we're doing a bunch of other stuff. We do have the brake stuff on order because of the holidays. The brake fluid's going to be here a little bit later. The brake pads are going to be here a little bit later, but that's okay because we've got a bunch of other stuff to take care of as well. I did sort of skip past the little thing. I did vacuum out the interior. I know you guys are bummed that I cut that out and you didn't get to watch me crawl around inside the car in crazy yoga poses while wearing head earmuffs and vacuuming out carpet that hasn't been touched since 2008. By the way, it's really odd. Underneath the driver's seat is extremely clean. Underneath the passenger seat, where there's less time, most people, you spend more time in the driver's seat. There was an incredible amount of crap underneath the passenger seat. It was pretty normal, but it was 10 times what was underneath the driver's seat. So that's all kind of odd. So it got all vacuumed out, just a quick vacuum, and I don't mean to leave parts out for you guys. I know you like seeing all of this, so I apologize for that. But it was just the little shop vac and pulling. So it took 15 minutes to do both sides and the back. So, yeah, hopefully you're not too pissed about that. You see the seat over here. I am hitting the junkyard tomorrow. It's open tomorrow, which is great. And I'm going to hit one of the local junkyards. Hopefully going to grab some lunch with a couple of local friends, car friends. And so we'll hit the junkyard, see if they can find the spare parts they're looking for. I'm going to see what I can find for this car. And then we'll grab some lunch and try and make a day out of it. It's supposed to be absolutely beautiful here tomorrow. So that's also why I have the garage door open. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. What is it? 62 degrees outside. So it's really, really nice. And so plus, in order to help keep it a little ventilated in here, we'll leave the garage door open. My neighbors are super cool. They don't mind me being up this late. So what I wanted to do tonight was take out, you guys remember the arcing wiring that was in the trunk for whatever power amps are back there. That stuff is going to come out. So we're going to take out all of that. And we're going to take out the head unit in the car. It's also, some folks just call it the stereo, but the head unit is what its technical term is. And so we'll take that out. Why are we taking it out? Number one, I don't really have any use for a radio in this car because it's just going to be racing at the Altima 600. Number two, I don't really have a reason for old school GPS. It is a really nice Pioneer head unit, and it does have old school GPS. I don't have a use for that. And I need to save weight. And I don't have the security code for the head unit. The previous owner has not received it from the original owner. So I don't have a security code, so I can't really change anything. I have to stick with all the presets and all this other stuff. So it's just going to come out. There's no real reason to have that. So I'm going to bring you guys in, and I'm probably going to do it from the driver's side. Yeah, I'll do it from the driver's side so you guys get a better view from the passenger side. So I'll fight the steering wheel. You guys won't have to view the steering wheel. So I'm going to grab a light and some trim stuff. We're also going to take the sun visors out. Sun visor's already out on one side. We're going to take the one sun visor out on the driver's side. And so I'll show you guys how to do all that. Take the dash apart. And I'm debating on the console. I haven't decided yet, but I think the console is going to come out too. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's not really worth having in there. And it also can save us a few pounds as well. Like I said, this thing is 3,200 pounds. So 3,053 pounds. We need to drop at least 54 pounds. And I'd like to drop 500 pounds out of here, but we're not going to do that. And the other thing I'm going to do is, and I might do it off live, I might do it live, is get this headlight back up where it's supposed to be. So I'll look at that later on, either tonight or tomorrow morning. I might need parts for it. So, and we also might go back to the OEM. These are aftermarket headlights. We might go back to the OEM headlights, and I'll just pick up a set tomorrow. So let's get to it. I'm going to grab light, and I'm going to get you guys positioned over here so you can see what I'm doing inside the car and crouching down and trying to psych myself up for this. See if we can get a drink quick. Oh, you guys want old school? There you go. How's that? Yeah, this was I had like a plethora of drinks on the kitchen counter, like stuff that I got while I was driving or whatever. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'll drink it later. And this was one of those ones that I got just a few days ago. I saw it and I'm like, I haven't had a Jolt in forever. So I grabbed it and it still tastes awful. It's basically, if you combined Coke and Pepsi together, it's what it tastes like. It basically tastes like RC Cola. So that's what Jolt is. It just has a shitload of caffeine. So I'll bring you guys around. We'll get a light in there and we'll get some trim stick stuff and try and get this thing apart. Okay. Let me move this. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way. I'll grab you guys first. Oh, and you can see here on the list, the one thing we did was check driver's seat power. So we figured out on the seat what we need. All the other stuff we're still working on. The brake stuff, the sun visor repair replace we'll do tonight. The CEL check, we know what that is, so we're going to clear that off. Tonight we're also doing the stereo, remove head unit, remove amp wiring. So this list just stays on the car. We check it off as we go. So this little handle did not stay. I think one of the clips is busted. He might get hot glued. The other thing I did today was finish the trailer, the new wireless winch control and new battery place. I don't know, what do you call it? Battery pad, I guess, even though it's wood. So I'll bring you guys down in here. We'll just come all the way down here. Let's see if I can get you a decent view inside. Yeah, Yeah, you can see. And if this thing would stop rolling for 2 seconds. I don't know if anyone gets that reference. Have them stop shaking their ass for 2 seconds. Or no, for 2 minutes. I forgot the actor's name. He's the coach for the New Orleans team in the movie The Replacements. And they have a bunch of strippers as cheerleaders, and the strippers are distracting the other team. It's very funny. And when the guy screams out, have them stop shaking their ass for 2 minutes. It's, I don't know, a weird sense of humor. Where'd my little flat guy go? And another small flat guy. Where did he go? There he is. Okay. All my trim sticks are still in Ohio. Let me grab a light. And we can shed some light on the situation. And I'm just going to stick it on the back here. I'm going to stick it way back here and run it like that. And hopefully that is, I'm blinded, so I can't really see you guys. All you can really see is the console. So, yeah, this doesn't work very well, does it? Now that I'm looking at the shot. So, let's start with this. I don't know, is there a spot up here? I don't know how these guys come out. He should just be a little clip cover. It is just a cover on here. All right. Oh, God. How tight is that cover on there? Does he like slide backwards? I don't know how to take these covers off. There he goes. Oh, he just pops right off of there. Okay. Yeah, you can see this sun visor's pretty dead. Okay. So those are just little covers that come off of there. Let's see who's here. Hey, Liz. Leave that guy over there. These are simple Phillips. And this guy is going to have power because he has a shiny mirror. So I'm going to take this one out first. And then I'll come over there and I'll reposition you guys so we can see the radio, because that's not a really good view. And I apologize. I thought it would be better. Get me. And that's it. So this one, you can tell, is I do so much shit trying to balance on one butt cheek, right? One toe. Spend my life just balancing on shit. Put that screw back. I'm going to show you guys. can see that part is broken. So that sun visor probably literally just fell out of there. I gotta charge this screw gun. Definitely gotta charge this thing. So he comes out and he has a wire that is plugged in, and we're going to release him. So when you have the lighted mirror, there's a little wire that comes through there. It's just two little tiny wires, and there's a release tab, and he comes out. So we're going to have to find another one of those as well. Yeah, that guy's got to go back on charge. Okay, sun visors are out. I'm going to reposition you guys. I'm going to leave this stuff here in case we need it. Where can I put you guys so you can see what the hell I'm doing? I guess I'll bring you over to the passenger side. I don't really have a way to raise you up though. So I like how this slides. That's kind of cool. Not everybody's elbow is in the same spot. So. Oh, I want to swear a lot. Wow. Hang on one second. Oh boy, was that special. Remember the seat bracket bolts that I took out last night? Yeah, just absolutely hammered one on my knee, like as hard, like full body weight. Oh, wow. I'm going to need a second here. Wow, that hurt like hell. Okay. We're going to be fine. We're big boys. God damn, that hurt. Okay, so here's our head unit. And he's obviously not mounted in there. Like I said, this is some of the, you can tell how sticky the dash is. This is some of the aftermarket hardware to mount that unit in there. And he's got a whole bunch of adjustability here. So that can go away. You can tell how sticky it is. We're going to keep the heater controls in here. We'll see if we can find some original mounting screws. But this is just the cover plate, the factory cover plate. So we'll just have a blank spot in here. So we'll keep the factory cover plate and we'll just put him up there. So for taking this out, I'm going to see if I can do it. I'm going to hop over to that side so I'm not fighting the steering wheel. And hopefully this is an okay view with you guys. Yeah, I'm good. I just smashed my knee as hard as possible into the head of that bolt. It's a Charlie horse, but on my knee. And yeah, it really hurt. Really hurt. So we have to keep going. Show must go on, that sort of shit, right? All right. Here we go. Coming over to this side. We could actually open up both garage doors. It's that nice outside. You know what? Let me grab my pad. Now these bolts, see, it's my own fault. The other bolts I threaded all the way down so that if I smash my knee, it just goes into steel. But these, oh no. One's on the driver's side. Oh crap. Hang on. We have a tiny car and a camera. Okay. So in order to remove this, because this should be in here like this and it looks really pretty and everything. In order to remove this, you need to do like a trim stick like this or one of the smaller ones, and you'll pop it out. Usually you can pop it out from the sides real easy. And it just has these clips. Now, obviously, 2 of these are broken off. there's little clips that go right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's how this comes off. So that's pretty easy. Yeah, when you're not expecting it. God, I was just trying to balance. And the other worst part is I was falling over. Also, this doesn't count as OEM, and this probably won't count either because it's a lot lighter weight. It's a nice Pioneer head unit. For the time, it was, you know, I don't know, several $100s. This part is actually, oh, these are all separated. Okay. So the passenger airbag light, that still works. We have 2 of the 3 trim rings for the vents. So that guy was not even attached. And we have this super sticky dash. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with that. So this light should actually stay in place. And he has a screw, but they totally missed. Or they stripped it out. Whichever. So we can put him on the carpet here because he's going to end up there. And we'll click what we think is the safety tab, but it's not. It's all the way up top here. There we go. We'll take this out. And then he's supposed to mount right here with that screw. And I'm not sure someone stripped him out or what. Totally stripped out. So we're going to keep this here. We're going to run some hot glue in there, and then screw the screw in. It should work as normal again. This guy is extremely loose in here. It looks like everything is extremely loose in here. Now back behind here, you're going to have some plugs, and it's going to look kind of like these guys, but they're big. As I block it with my hand, it's going to look like these guys, but they're big. They're going to be a little larger in size. Hey, congratulations! Going up on my knees and not smashing my. Oh my God! Oh, this is the cage. So here's one of the. So actually, I thought there would be 2 plugs. This is your GPS antenna. I'll pull all this out. These are for your power amp, RCA cables, which we're going to pull that out. This is your regular antenna. I don't know where the antenna is on this car. I'm guessing it's up here. You have a fuse, and then you have, this is all your speaker and power. And it is 2 separate. Where's the safety release here? I hate pulling on from cables, but sometimes you have to because that's your only grip method. So here's our head unit. It is now out of the car, and that's what it looks like. That's the back. So you have your cute little GPS antenna, and he just threads in right here. You have your main antenna in. You have a USB, so I'm guessing you can update this. You have, usually yellow is video. So you have video out, CVBS in, another video out, and a cam in. And then you have a left and right. R is red, which is right. White is left. You have another plug here. I'm not sure what that's for. That's it for this thing. So this is actually a really nice touchscreen. This is Pioneer. Oh, there's a USB on the front too. And there's SD, so you can watch the movies when you're in park, not while you're driving. Right? And it did have a remote too. This is a 7039B. So if you guys really want to look that up, 7039B. So we'll set him off to the side. Here is the mounting cage that he's supposed to be in. And this guy normally slides over this. And this cage is what mounts to that plastic piece that I pitched. And then you slide the head unit in like that. So we don't have a use for the cage either. And now we have a ton of wires back here. This is all your speaker left and right. Here you have your main power, ground. You're going to have, I don't know, I don't remember what the pink is. But these are all of your speakers, positive and negative. So you, in this car, I believe you have 4 speakers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then whatever they added on with the amps. Here is your main harness that goes to the car. And that is what we really want to take out, because having all this shit dangling around in the car, not a good idea. But these couple of plugs, I'm okay with. This is our antenna plug. And so we don't care if he's gone. And then we have a green wire here, which is going to ground. These are all of our grounds. So this is just a wire nut. So you can just go back and forth with this guy and he'll come off. So it's a wire nut. And then down here, oh boy. Oh, we got so much bonus stuff here, you guys. You're going to love this. Okay. So here's the track. This looks like the OEM track. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we have one screw in. There is another screw back there, and I can't tell if he's broken, stripped out, or they totally missed it. So we've got our screw. Thankfully, we've got magnetic bits. So there's one. We'll take this guy out on this side. Maybe. Hard to get them lined up. So that guy is considerably longer. So now our head unit is coming out of here, or our AC controls. For the AC controls, you have the same kind of plug here in the back. And I don't know where the safety is. Whoops, get our trim piece off here. There's the safety. And he unplugs like that. Get this wire out of here. So there's our AC controls, and you just have that one big plug in the back. And that controls, you know, heater, front and rear, defrost, all of the dials and stuff. This is actually the factory radio mounting. So it looks like they can put a bunch of different styles and sizes of radios in here. That's why they have the grid like this. So we're going to set him or her off to the side. We're not sexist. So the only thing we'll have left in here is this and this. And, you know, we're going to have these 4 plugs. This one will actually be plugged into the AC, but we're just going to tape off these 3 because we're not using them for the stereo. Now, here's the extra. This is the bonus stuff. And God, I wish I had better light for you guys. All this stuff is just jammed and zip tied back behind here. And this is all of the crap that we need to take out. Now, if we were going to Nopi Nationals, this is some sweet cable. Look at that. Spliced right there. It's the sparkle blue. I mean, come on. Look at this. So yeah, we'll we can actually unplug. They put actually plugs in. Oh, it's just a splice. Jesus. Oh my God. They just did crimp splices right here. Shit. Not very good. So this goes with the head unit because this has the 2 plugs for it and the adapter for Nissan. So that'll go with the head unit. We'll just leave that out there. This is the stuff we're gonna take and get rid of. And he goes behind the steering column. It looks like he goes under the steering column. So we're just gonna cut this and we'll actually, yeah, we'll just cut this and we'll just pull it out. We'll just yank it all the way out. I'll move the camera back so you guys can see because it runs underneath that trim panel. It'll go under the steering column here. It'll run through all the way through there, and all of that speaker wire goes back there. This blue guy also goes with him, and this ground wire, which is excessive. Where the hell does he go? Oh, this is a plug. Oh, you know what this is for? This is for the mic up here, the Bluetooth mic. Okay. So that's what that's for. That's what that other plug in the back was for. And he's mono, you can tell, because he only has 1 band. So he'll come out as well. We don't have a use for a Bluetooth mic in here. This has obviously been broken because these are zip tied right here. Again, this trim ring's broken. So you can see the tabs where that guy's supposed to screw in there. So for the time being, we'll just leave that. We might tighten these up a little bit and give them a couple of clicks. Maybe trim off the ends, make it a little more professional, just a tiny bit. This ground wire is actually going back to a 10 mil back here. And I don't know, I guess I'll just trim it off back there. There's no reason to take the screw out. The rest of this stuff can hang back here. Now, here's another cool reason to take out head units. Head units are a lot of plugs, and also with the AC controls are a lot of plugs. So it's trim, a couple of screws, and you can pull this stuff out. Now, here's the cool part. It also gives you access, kind of limited, but pretty decent access to a lot of the HVAC stuff. So if you have motors that need plugged in or reset or whatever, it does give you some access to that stuff. Usually you have to pull the whole dash out, or what they call the IP, the instrument panel. All that has to come out. Sometimes you can get in here, you can check plugs, you can reset things. And by removing the stereo and the heater controls and the vents, you can usually get access to that stuff. So that's one of the other bonuses of doing this. So we're going to put this back. And like I said, we're just going to have a hole here. And we'll put the other lower trim. I think he goes something like that. I don't know. Oh, no, he goes down here. Yeah. Yep, that's where he goes. He gets clipped in right there and clipped in right there. And then this thing works. Okay, so that's where that guy goes. We'll leave him there. And then we'll put the other face back on. So let's get this. We're going to take this zip tie off. I don't even think I need to cut him, because he's not on there very tight. And if I have to pull a few loops through, so be it. Now he's not very tight, and we're going to come off. He is now unzip tied. How's that? How are we doing? Okay. So yeah, all this extra wire, all of this shit can come out. And this guy is going to cause problems, so we're going to unloop him too. This guy's going to be a big enough problem with the right angle end that he has on him. So we'll just take care of that as much as we can right now. And he is straightish. All right. So now we'll come over, and I do want to trim this up. That's not very stable. We'll save that for last. I do want to trim this other side off. That also tells you how much I'm balancing here. I had to balance on that, and it came out. So we're going to head over to the passenger side, over there. I'll show you guys where this blue wire comes out. I'm also going to take all that stuff off the floor there and place it accordingly. After I trim this green wire. When I trim this green wire, we're good. We will get some electrical tape and take all the stereo stuff and tape it off just so it doesn't ground or anything else. We'll do a zip tie. Actually, we can just zip tie it back here because all those connectors are set. So we'll zip tie them as a package back here and they won't do anything. Then the only thing we have to plug back in is the AC controls. So give me a second here. Put this wire on this side. Nope Nationals. What was that? Like 99, 98? I don't remember when Nope was. Nope was great though, wasn't it? I think it was. I thought it was kind of cool. Maybe I'm weird. Take our tools with us as well. I always thought Nope had some cool stuff, but I'm kind of biased. You know, Mark IV Supras and all that stuff. Okay, so we've got our head unit, our visor. All this stuff can come out here. I'm going to leave these two screws back here in the corner so I can put my knee on them in a little bit. Leave those guys up there. This wire harness can stay with the radio. Put these guys in the back corner. So, yeah, that sucks. That guy broke off. That's all right. All right, let's get that green wire trimmed and then get this stuff out of here. So now, if the stereo was installed extremely professionally, then you would have everything is hooked into the wire harness and it would be taped off and it would look almost OEM. It would be hard to determine if it was factory or not. So there's our green wire. He can go in the recycle wire bin. We're done with that. Grounds are important, but we don't need one for this. Okay. So, yeah, we definitely need a pad over here. So you guys can kind of see where we're going here. The blue wire is going to come through over, it's going to come underneath the dash here. And what we have to do is we have to take this kick panel out. Most of these guys are just straight pop out. They're just in there with I don't even need to pull this damn panel out. That's how bad this wiring is. You guys can already see it. It's just sticking out right there. Oh, you can see it right here. You guys are probably cheating and already looking at it, right? So oh my God. All right. There's that. Now this red wire is the one that comes from the engine bay. So he probably goes back up into the engine bay. Come on. Okay. Oh, they did. They did actually put it in the... This guy comes out with just these clips. Where are they? They're just plastic clips. chink, chink, and then there's a couple up here. One here and one here. And that's how you get this trim piece off. So they did run these two through the OEM loop, but they didn't hook it into the harness. But these are the guys from the back. So this is going to be kind of our meeting point here. So we're going to pull all of these guys, as many as we can, from the back. I don't know what the hell is that one? Oh my gosh. All right, hang on a second here. All right, give me a light and I at least did a good job with the ground wire, but they used a self-tapper screw. Even though there's 11 bolts back here to use. So, come back here, little drill bit. So we have the ground off of there now. And this is all of our stuff from the trunk. So we're going to bring this down, and he just slides through here. So how do these guys unclip? I'm curious how this unclips here. Looks like he flexes backwards, but we don't really care. We're just going to pull this stuff. Hopefully there's enough room. There is not. And all this stuff is zip tied. So let's take care of that quickly. Again, we're not going to use this. So I don't know. We might save the blue. Maybe the blue is cool for some other project in the future. The wire is actually still good, but so this is all the stuff that was hanging out in the trunk. We just clip that off. That will go in the wire recycle bin. The red and the blue we're probably not going to ever reuse again, but it's good to have spares, and it's a nice gauge. It's 8 gauge, something like that. So now this guy is really tight up against here. And something is preventing him I think it's just friction. Come on. It is. It's just pretty tight coming through there. There we go. There's the big red one. And then this blue one. Oh. There's no way I'm that strong. Oh, yeah. That's what was preventing us, was a butt connector. So once again, we'll cut this butt connector off. Because even if you're going to reuse this wire, you're not reusing this butt connector. So we have our two here. Now, the odds that we can pull that blue wire. We have another zip tie right here. Okay. So that's our little skinny blue wire. He is all done. our red wire goes up into the engine bay, and these up there. This guy comes up and because I didn't pull the cover off here, this is going to take a second to route this back over, but you guys can see it's not that difficult. Someone just laid underneath here and looped it over whatever supports are underneath. There's not a ton of thought that went into this. And here we go. What's he got caught on? We pull whatever through we can. Hey, the mic guy came through quick. And the other one, and then I don't know. Or no, yeah, it was the mic. And then this black wire, I don't know what he's hooked on. So what was he part of? Oh, he goes all the way up here to this mic. I don't know how to get this stupid mic out of here. Okay, well. There you go. There's the mic clip. And then the microphone itself. They ran it around this side. So now you get to peel the trim out. That would have been really fun, especially with the airbag right here. That would have been really fun. Oh, I can't imagine taking a mic to the face. So I just took the side panel off on the side of the dash, and we're just pulling the trim down. That was a extremely quick and dirty install. Yeah, I guess we'll go this way. Where did he get? Okay, there he goes. Almost. That little microphone hooks on everything. So we now have the microphone out of there. So let's put this trim piece back in here. With those tabs, you can just give them a nice solid shot like that. And actually, let's take this out because it goes in after the weather stripping. Weather stripping is super simple. Just go nice and smooth. And then when it's all said and done, just pressure with your hand. And it should grip right back in place. And then put this guy in place. Couple of taps, we're back in place. We're going to get rid of all this wiring except the red, which is going to come, we're going to pull that up to the engine bay. But all of this stuff is coming out of the car, including this clip. Where's the mic? There he is. Let me put the clip back on. I wonder how good those mics are. I don't think I've ever used them. So all of this wiring, all gone. Bye-bye. And we're done with our tools that we didn't use. And I'm trying to see. I guess it would probably be better if I pulled you guys into the engine bay, right? Because now you can see what the hell I'm doing. I think I am going to save the console for later. So Just because I need to drive it around, and I have really not driven this very far, maybe 5 miles in total when I was doing test drives. So I might keep the console in it just for now. It'll be quick and easy to remove, even with the seats in. So I might save that. Maybe we'll do another episode with it, but it's one of those. I kind of like it, but I would like to take another 5 pounds out of this car if I could. So I guess we'll see. Let's get the rest of this, which is up in the engine bay. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way, and I will pull you guys up and put you back on the pedestal. Let's put this trim piece back in here because we are done with it. Make sure he gets lined back up. Pops in. Usually these kick panels are pretty damn strong. They have some really good clips in them because you're hitting these with your feet all the time. So they're usually a little thicker material, and they've got some heavy duty clips. So we are back in business. Have all of our trim back in place. Now, when you're stripping out a car to do like a roll cage and everything, like all the carpet comes out and all that stuff. So these panels are always fun to pop off. It's a lot of violence. All right. So put that back under the car. Let me get the pedestal ready for you guys. And we'll come back over to the car. I know this is the hard part. Try not to get motion sickness, right? So there you go. Better. So we're not going to close that all the way, but it does by itself. We'll come back over to this corner, and I'll drop you guys down a little bit here. There we go. Let's get our light out of the back that's currently blinding me. And I just don't want to lock the cable in there too tight. All right. We'll get our hood propped up. Now that we know where the hood prop actually goes, and it does actually hold stuff. So our cable comes in over here. It comes in through the firewall back there. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this, obviously, from the battery. There's no fuse in here, so there's no power going to it. We're going to disconnect this from the battery, take this part out, and then we're going to yank the rest of this out. This is something else. I believe it's for the HID headlights. So we will leave that for now. Do not need that. But we'll grab is that a 10 or 12? And we'll take that part out. Might be a 12. We'll grab both. Yeah, I think he's a 12. Holy smokes. Oh my God. Okay. That's fun. That thing is on there, by the way. We're going to have to go impact. Sorry, got to make a little noise here. I do not want to, but I need the shock. Jesus. It's literally not moving that. Holy crap. What the hell, man? That thing is really on there, right? I mean, that's a fully juiced battery. Okay. We'll try maybe a different impact. I don't know. This one's a little lighter duty, but oh, of course, he grabs it right away, right? Of course. That guy is off of there. Put this back on. Jesus. Okay. Wow, what a chore. Sorry about the noise. We're going to need our little wire cutters again, because they have a zip tie here for this to stay on there. Which way does this come off? I think both of these actually do come loose. That's where your fuse goes, that big 50, 100 amp fuse. And again, we're not using this, so he can go away. Now this guy, we are going to cut the zip tie. That connects him to the HIDs, and we're just going to pull that shit straight out. So this is the fun part, right? That's it. All that red's out. Now, the good part is we do have a nice big amp holder on this side, but the other good part is we have some free, decent 8-gauge cable. So this might be 6. I don't know what it is, but maybe we can use this for a different project somewhere down the line. We will zip tie him closed. Not with that zip tie, but with a different one. And not with that one. Somehow I pick out the smallest zip ties available. We do have a bunch of stuff to wire in the limo, so. And the limo would have been just an absolute hero at Nopi Nationals, right? Where did they do that? They did that in Miami. I think they did it in Atlanta. I remember Atlanta was a huge Nopi thing. So we have all the wire out from the front. We're rehooked up back here. I'm not hot on how loose this terminal connection is, but not much I can do about it. So we are done with the stereo and head unit and stuff out of the car. We're going to do the same with this blue wire. So we're going to take our excess crap from this blue wire. There's some electrical tape that can come off. And let me rephrase that. There's some electrical tape that can get cut off. Oh, God. All right. Sometimes it's just easier to cut this crap than try and unwrap it. These guys did an okay job with wrapping this stuff together, but The rest of it really left a lot to be desired. And I would not have left that massive power cable where it could just fall out from the kick panel. That's not cool. That's asking to weld something. So we have our other blue cable, and we're just gonna, now this is speaker wire, so this is not like XLR cable. So it's a half turn every time. It's like an extension cord. And then you should get a nice wrap in this. If someone else hasn't jacked it up by putting it in a Nissan Altima in some weird way. And please, please, please don't ever wrap over your shoulder. Please, for the love of all things electric, don't do that. You can do that with rope if you really want to. Do not do that with electrical cable. Please don't do that with electrical cable. Not speaker wire, not audio cable, not mic cable, not extension cords, none of that. You are going to jack it up. Keep wrapping it like that. You're eventually going to wrap it onto itself, and it will be completely useless. You will destroy your extension cable. So we have all of the wire that we're going to use. We can pitch all this other stuff. We're going to save the mic because that belongs with the stereo system. Correct? Correct. Oh my God. I swear to God. I could hook a bowling ball. I swear to God I could. All right. I am like Batman. All right. We're going to put this connector back with the other one. But this is all of our garbage from the stereo. Actually, this ground cable is actually pretty good. So we will save that. Hook this guy back up here. Don't know why he won't go back in. He doesn't have a detent. What the shit? God. Like, why the hell won't he go? So where'd our cutters go? They're over here. So we can put the rest of our tools back as well. And the stereo will go in the parts area. If we ever get the code for it, that would be great. Then we can actually have a stereo back in there. But I'm not expecting the previous owner to talk to the previous owner to get that information. I don't see that happening. But it's always worth a shot, right? So that's it. We're clear on that stuff. Oh yeah, I got to put the heater controls back in. But again, that's the heater controls is just sliding that panel back into place and hooking it up in the back. So not a massive issue. This guy, just need to slide him back into the console, plug him into the back. Our 2 screws here, hold that in place. There should be 2 screws down here, but I did not see them. This bracket isn't broken, so I'll look for the 2 lower mounting screws. That'll help stability a lot, a lot. Let's take a look, see if they're in there. No. Nope, they're missing. So something else to grab at the junkyard. Junkyards are great when you need little parts like this, because you know, for $2, it takes you a couple minutes to. Just want to make sure I didn't open up any other holes or anything. No, he just came through that same plug on the firewall. You know, what you're going to spend $2 on or $5 on is, I mean, I'll just give you an example. So the seat over here, I can't buy those motors by themselves. And I can't buy the, they're not called axles, they're called shafts. I can't buy those motor shafts. Actually, they're technically drive shafts. I can't buy those shafts by themselves. People sell AliExpress, you can get kits that have multiple of those square drive shafts. But of course, none of those kits have the correct length. And it's not like you can trim it, you know. So they either have them extremely long or little 1-inch jobbies, which do nothing. So on our list here, we can but mark off stereo. We removed the head unit and we removed the amp wiring. So making good progress on the car. This is all, you know, super simple stuff. I'm going to raise you guys back up. The locks are right underneath where you guys are, so that's why my head's in the shot. Sorry about that. If anybody wants to come over and be a camera op, I'm all for it. So, what do we got? Hey, Truss. You sure the new owner didn't want the subwoofer? Nope, I'm not. But I'm sure that I don't want the subwoofer. So there we go. If they want to wire one up, they're going to wire it better than what was currently in there. I promise. I promise. That wasn't even like Circuit City wiring. Why not wrap like that? When you wrap, and of course, I have 10 extension cords. I don't have one handy. When you wrap over the shoulder, you're technically like coiling the strands of copper inside the case. And then you unwrap it and it comes a little bit open. And then you wrap it again like that, and it keeps wrapping around and it keeps wrapping around. And what you're doing is you're folding it and unfolding and folding. And just think of like a soda can. The more you fold it and unfold it, it slowly breaks. So you're slowly breaking those strands apart. And that's not how you do it. That's why when you coil something, you do extension cords in general, you do a half twist just with your forefinger and thumb. You do a half twist. And then also, you can hold that end and you can go whoosh and you can whip it out, and 200 feet. If you can throw it 200 feet, it'll be perfectly straight. If you do it over your shoulder and then you try and whip it out, you're going to have a knot every 3 feet or 2.5 feet or whatever your loop is. That's not how you do it. Same thing. Audio cable is different. Audio cable is inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. That's a different thing. We don't do a lot of audio cable here. When I was working in the film industry and TV industry, I did so much audio cable. Miles. And one of my favorite ones was triax. I have never looped so much triax. Triax is an old school, not old school, but it's 80s, 90s TV cable. And triax had, it's a thick mamma jamma. It's like, triax is like old school German sausage. I'm trying to come up with a reference that is not phallic, but it's not going to work. It's thicker than a hot dog. And Triax had a whole bunch of controls in it. You know, you had your video signal, your audio, your tally, camera or record off. You had all this other stuff, and you had your comm in there. Triax had all this stuff in this big cable. And here's a funny Triax cable story for you. So the TV station that I worked for, we got hired by ESPN to shoot the Freestyle Nationals in Breckenridge. And I don't remember the year, but you'll be able to look up the year later on from the second part of this. So it was the owner of the TV station, I believe his wife, and myself and three other guys, and then a fourth guy was coming up from Denver and was going to meet us there, who was from ESPN, he was the producer. And the owner of the TV station was going to direct it, and we had two camera ops, and the ESPN, yeah, they brought two guys up. They had another camera op up there. So they had two guys. We had five people in general. We had three of us in the van, Tom and CJ in their car, and then the two people from ESPN. So anyway, we drive there, and Breckenridge ski area was great. ESPN was awesome. We have all of this equipment that shows up from ESPN, tons of it. It's really nice gear. It's all state of the art. It's all brand new, and it's all Triax. So in the Snowcat at the bottom of the hill is the whole control room. Like normally you see a control room like on movies and TV shows and stuff where it's 50 monitors and they have like a big switcher console and all these, tape machines, whatever. It was nothing like that. We had four monitors or five monitors because I think we had five cameras for the moguls. The moguls was the hard part. The aerials was pretty easy. The moguls was definitely the hard part. So I think we had five or six monitors. I think it was 3 and 3, and they were stacked, and they were little like 9-inch monitors. These are CRTs. We're not LCD yet. We're still tube TVs, and they're little Sonys, and they're 9 inches. They're color, and they're stacked. I think it's 3 by 3, and then there was a was it a JVC switcher? I think it was a JVC switcher. It might have been a GVG, but old school, like GVG like 200 or GVG 300. So there's a switcher. We had all the tape decks that we were actually kind of sitting on, like underneath the bench seats were all the tape decks, and it was all 3/4 inch. We were showing everything on 3/4 inch. This is, like I said, this is old school. We weren't even shooting beta. We were shooting 3/4 inch. And those, I don't know if you know 3/4 inch decks, they're just huge. They're just massive. So we have all this stuff. Now it comes time to run the cable. Oh my God. So the mogul event was on this run called Mach 1, and it's just under, it's like half a mile long, maybe a little bit longer. And we have 3 cameras on the mogul run itself, and then you have a start and you have a finish. So we had to run 4 cables all the way up, like one all the way to the top, one 3/4, one half, one quarter. And it's this huge, heavy cable. And we did have a snowmobile, but still laying that out takes forever. And then the worst part was when we're done with moguls, picking it all up and coiling it all up. We had just a mountain of Triax when we were all done. And there were 3 of us that were coiling it up. So it took forever to coil it. Like it was getting dark. And then for the aerials, and I think they did ballet too. Um, I don't think we shot the ballet, but we shot the aerials and we shot the moguls. I just remember hiking up and down, uh, going between cameras. I wasn't running camera. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was cam assist for those 3 guys. I might have been running. I might have been running the start camera. I honestly don't remember, but going, and the other guys were running back and forth too, because we were running equipment back and forth to each other between uh, uh, competitors. and it was so, and it's so steep, and there's so much snow. This isn't on like dry land. This is on, 2 feet of snow, and it's all uphill. It's literally, even when you're going downhill, it's uphill. It was crazy. So to get you the date of the Freestyle Nationals, you'll have to go and look up National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This comes back to another Christmas movie. So, or I should say, it's time relevant for this. They were shooting Christmas Vacation on US Highway 9, which is between Silverthorne and Kremling, is US 9. And we were coming back from Breckenridge. We had finished, and we're all like absolutely completely drained, dead tired. And we get on US 9 out of Silverthorne, and literally right outside of Silverthorne, state patrol, everyone stopped. The road is closed. It's like really nice weather out. We're like, what the hell happened? Had to be like a bad truck accident or something. And we were stuck there for hours. It was like 2 or 3 hours. And so a couple of us napped because we were just wasted from the weekend. And we eventually come through, and we were in the van, and I was in the passenger seat, and I looked over outside the window, and there's a whole bunch of, you know, uh, camera crews and all the dolly equipment and the cranes. There was a camera truck, and I look over there, and I can see it at one of the houses just off to the side. I've driven that road 1,000 times, and so I know the houses. And I'm like, that's weird. You don't usually see camera stuff. Never really thought about it, and kind of left it in my head. The following year, Christmas Vacation comes out, and I'm like, I know that road. When he does the car spinning on the road completely out of control, that's why we were stopped, was because they were shooting that scene. And they shot it at, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we were stopped there forever and ever and ever. And when they cleared up, then we finally got to go through. But yeah, that section of road, US Highway 9, right outside of Silverthorne, probably 3 miles, 4 miles outside of Silverthorne. And there was a big house, a huge piece of property, really beautiful house off to, let's see, if you're going this way, it would have been the south or east side of US 9. And yeah, so whatever year Christmas Vacation came out, the year before, that's when I shot the US Freestyle Nationals in Breckenridge. And that was a shit ton of work, and that was just a shit ton of cable. I've never wrapped more cable in my life than I did that weekend. That was a lot. It was a lot of fun. We had the ESPN people are always really great. And I got to work with them way later in my TV career too, and they were always awesome. And then all of the guys that I worked with at KSBS, the TV station in Colorado, they were awesome too. So they were an absolutely great crew. It was just one of those things that they never told us what was going on. There's no internet. There's no like check Waze and see what the hell. There was none of that. And then you ask the cars behind you, like, hey, do you guys know what's going on? They're like, we don't have any idea. You ask the trucker because he's got a CB and there's no oncoming traffic. So you're like, they're stopped both ways. And truckers like, we have no idea. We can't see anything. So yeah, it was just kind of like, all right, well, let's crash out. I was absolutely dead tired from the weekend. So yeah, that was fun. And that was one of those things where you learn to wrap cable, and then you'll have that muscle memory, and it just happens every single time. And you can come over to my shop here, you can come to my shop in Ohio, you can grab an extension cable, and you can hold one end and throw it as hard as you want, and it'll come out perfectly straight every single time. I promise. Unless someone else wrapped it. And if you do the over the shoulder wrap, it's not going to do that. It might clear, might not every 3 feet, but it's going to curve, or it's not going to lay flat or lay straight. Please just do the quarter or the half turn every time. Please. You're saving, and extension cords aren't cheap, man. They're super expensive nowadays. Save yourself some money. Please don't do it. Please don't do that. And I see guys wrapping it. I'm like, stop. You don't have to wrap it. I'll wrap it. Just don't wrap it like that. And they're like, what's wrong? I've been wrapping it like this for years. Yeah. And I bet you go through an extension cable a winter. Well, yeah, they kind of break. Well, stop doing it like that and they won't break. So that's why you do a half turn. Same thing with like speaker cable, but audio cable is different. Audio cable, like for XLRs and stuff like that, that's an inside outside, and that's because of how they're built with the three wires and the shielding and all that. So that's a little different story. If you want to talk about audio and video and TV and film, we can talk about that in a different one. But I did relate the car stuff to the huge thing of Triax to Christmas. There you go. Not bad, right? Two cars spinning out and stunt driving. And yeah, there you go. So, what was the other thing? The truck that they used in Christmas Vacation, that four door, I think it's a four door International, is also Kurt Russell's truck in the movie Overboard. That truck is famous. It's been a kind of a B list truck in a bunch of different movies. Um, I remember that it was the other because I'm like, I've seen that truck before. Oh yeah, that's the one from Christmas Vacation. I remember that. I believe it's a 60s International four door regular bed, four wheel drive, and it's always got some kind of business on the side, on the front door. So there you go. There's another car reference for you. God, my arms are sore just thinking about that event. Like we had a really nice time. We're staying in a great hotel. All the people were super cool. All the competitors are even cool. They're like, "Hey, man, don't forget, get a really good, nice close up. I got my sponsors on. I want to make sure, they see." They all know that you're the crew when you're out, having dinner with whatever, and they'll come up to you and they'll ask, "Hey, man, I'm doing a triple twisting quad tomorrow. Can you guys make sure you get the launch really well?" Sure, yeah. I mean, we're doing it for everyone, but yeah, I'll definitely do special stuff for you. Um, Also, there's only one guy who's ever done a triple twisting quad. His name's Frankie Bear. Uh, Charges a lot of money. He did charge a lot of money to do it. I don't think he's with us anymore. I'd have to look that up. This guy out in California. Four backflips, three twists. That's pretty serious. So and landed it. Not like the other guys. Yeah, I'm going to do 18 backflips. That's great. Are you going to land on your feet? No. Okay. Well, awesome. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with the wiring stuff. That was cool. Like I said, I'm going to keep that console in there until I get some miles on the car. It's going to be very easy to remove. So it might be one of those things that I remove. Also, I want to feel what the car is like without the console because when I'm driving it on track, it might be more helpful to actually have the console there instead of an open space. And it does actually give me one little layer of plastic protection. So I might keep the console in there. That's a 50-50. Also, I did get a reply from Freedom Factory. So I will have more updates from you guys when I hear back from them this next time because they got a big list of questions. So I will answer all of your guys' questions that you've posed and get you the questions that get you answers to the questions that I asked. So hopefully anyone else who's doing this, you can have answers to those questions. That is about it. I do want to, just since we're streaming live, I do want to give props to my friend Michael Stack. He is a local guy in Ohio, runs a Verizon store and does transport and sells cargo trailers. If you need Verizon stuff, if you need a cargo trailer, go talk to Michael Stack. One of the coolest guys on the planet. And definitely, he hooked me up with transport. He's hooked me up with Verizon stuff. He is the way to go. So thank you for all of the help today, Michael, with all the Verizon stuff. I really, really, really appreciate it. It's cool when you've got a friend like that who is like, "Hey, man, let's do this." No, what about, have you thought about a new phone? Oh, don't do that because the hotspot's cheaper if you do it over here. and he's got all of the stuff like ready to go. He knows your account. He knows what you need because he's, friends with you. He's like, yeah, but dude, you're never in the South Pole. You're not going to need that. So it's always cool to have a friend like that where, a regular salesperson would be like, for those times that you're in the South Pole, you're really going to want it. He's not like that. He's like, dude, you're never going to the South Pole. Yeah, McMurdo Station is as far as you're going to go, and this will work fine to McMurdo. Oh, okay. So it's cool to have a friend like that. And then he transported the limo down here from Ohio. It was absolutely seamless, and he didn't have any problem with people at the gas stations asking him questions. Is that a hot tub in the back? And he and his wife actually had fun. They did little clips like, "Hey, I wonder what's," and she pops up out of the hot tub. It was very funny. They're a really great couple. He's a super awesome guy. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him and say thanks for all the help with the limo, with the Verizon, everything else. So super super cool guy. We stay positive here, right? All right. Let's see. Tomorrow, please, Amazon, bring me cool shit. Um, I checked just before I came on here. The schedule has not moved up. It was actually it has moved up. It was supposed to be here today, but it's actually they have it on for tomorrow, so we can bleed brakes, at least get brake fluid out, and then we'll figure out how to bleed brakes. I'll get a buddy over here, maybe have my neighbor. My neighbor's son's got some energy. Definitely got some energy. Maybe he can pump brakes for half an hour and we'll get all these lines cleared out and get all new fluid in this thing. And also, we're probably going to do a junkyard trip. So some of this stuff is going to go back together. We'll, with any good fortune, get the seat back together. We get the sun visors back in, all of that stuff. So I will keep you guys updated on that. But we're going to keep going on this car. We're really close. We've got about 3 weeks left. And the other fun part is today, Speedy Cop posted on Facebook remember that time I was in the Danger Ranger 9000 and just pulled away from the whole pack on, yeah. And it's like watching those clips is like, okay, man, I'm totally ready. That was at Bristol though. It wasn't at Freedom Factory, but still it's one of those like, come on, yeah, let's do this. So I also have to give a big shout out to Speedy Cop. He's just super, super cool, awesome racer, and he's got a ton of information. So he's an awesome mentor for doing stuff at Freedom Factory with Garrett and his whole crew because he's done it for a few years now. So thanks a ton, Speedy Cop. I appreciate it. What else we got? I think that's about it. If we do run out of stuff on the Altima because we're waiting for parts, I'll bring the motorcycle in here. We'll do the oil change on the motorcycle because it's ready for that. It's just it's waiting until we move this thing. So we keep going nonstop, right? And New Year's Eve, I don't know. I honestly don't have any plans for New Year's Eve. I don't drink anymore, so it's not a big, huge deal for me. We'll probably be working on either this car or the Miata. Maybe do something cool with the Viper for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So that's about it. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all the new subscribers. You guys are great. That's always fun to see those numbers change, and I'm glad you guys are liking what I'm doing here. I'm gonna keep on doing it. We got more messages here. I thought you weren't into. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna show you the shirt. And you're going to have to look that up. I'm not a huge aviation guy. I am a fan of Kelly Johnson, and I think was absolutely brilliant. And most of his aircraft are stunning. I am probably the third largest Concorde fan in the world. When they decommissioned the last one and disassembled it, I bid on so much stuff at Christie's, but they weren't even close on their estimates. Like the Mach meter, which is the little thing in the cabin that says how fast you're going, they estimated that to go for, I think they said $4,000 to $6,000, and it went for like $70,000. They weren't even close. The airspeed indicator from the dash, they said was going to go between two and I think it was $2,000 and $4,000, and it went for like $40,000. They weren't even close. But my dumbass is in there bidding on it. I'm like, all right, well, the only thing I can afford is like this knife and fork set from the galley that's bent, and that's $600 for a knife and a fork. No, I can't do that. It's killing me. But when they decommissioned all that, or when they took that plane apart, they sold all these parts, and you just watch it, and you're like, oh yeah, the Mach meter from the cabin would be so badass. Just wired up to say, Mach 2.2 or whatever. That'd be so badass. Not unless you have big money, big money. So I tried, but I do love aviation. I love traveling. Um, but this isn't technically it isn't technically aviation. You'll have to look this up, and then next live stream you'll go, oh, okay, now I know what Boyd Aviation is. uh I'll leave it at that. How's that? So um also, one other thing regarding aviation, if you get a chance, listen to Brian Shull, Shul. Listen to, and I think there's video of it too, but he has this great story. It's called the LA Speed Story. So Brian Shull, LA Speed Story. Trust me, if you are an aviation buff, you will love that. It's one of the best ones out there. And Brian Shull, rest in peace, was a super, super cool guy. He was actually a POW. He got shot down, came back, re-enlisted in the Air Force. Like, he was out, he got shot down. He was a POW. They're like, okay, you can go home. He's like, I'll go back into the Air Force. Yeah, okay. He was hardcore, very hardcore. So if you get a chance, check out Boyd Aviation and check out the LA Speed Story from Brian Shull. Yeah. Bodywork on the car. That is a very good question. I don't know how much bodywork I'm going to do on this. If you're talking about like paint touch up and stuff and spray painting, maybe next week sometime. That's not going to be, I'm just going to run like 800 grit on this to get rid of the clear, and so that paint will stick to it. And same thing on the trunk, just so everything's black again, or at least mostly gloss black. But I don't know about, since I have all the panels and stuff out, some of the dents, hopefully I can hammer out or suction cup out. But the rest of the bodywork, I'm not too like super stressed. This thing, definitely need to clear this and the headlight. And I'll do a stream with that where I need to see what's bent in here in order to get it bent back up. And then this will get remounted. But as far as painting and bodywork and stuff, it'll probably be next week. It'll be one of the last things I do. I need the car mechanical 100% before I do any showy, shiny stuff. So hopefully that works. So that's it for tonight. Definitely look up Boyd Aviation and tall ball bearings nowadays. Sorry, it just makes me laugh. And the Brian Shull LA Speed Story. If you look those up, those are good aviation ones. Yeah. And again, thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everyone who's hung out tonight and watched, taking care of this and getting it ready to race. And if you guys do have any questions, comments, whatever, put them down there. Shoot me a message, shoot me an email, text. I'm really easy to get a hold of. No, go to the junkyard tomorrow, Trust, to hopefully score those two shafts. Couldn't find those. They call them square drive shafts, and couldn't find them. If you want them from Nissan, you have to buy the whole bottom of the seat for $638. Nope. So I'm going to go to the junkyard, see if I can score some from one of the seats there. And junkyards are always a big dice roll, but I also need some of the other parts. I need the tan sun visors. I need that cover plate. I need the quick release lever. There's some other trim pieces and little screws and stuff that I can score at the junkyard. hopefully I can get them for, 10, $20 versus $638. So I'm still working on that. So we will come back tomorrow. We'll keep going. Like I said, we're doing this until it's ready to go. I'm just going to keep streaming. And again, thank you everyone for watching tonight. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We will catch you tomorrow night. Cool. Hey, you the guy from Ajax? All right.